My friends know that I love LEGO. I've been collecting them for years. I'm of the opinion that because they're so accessible to so many age groups, once you get into them, it's really hard to get back out again. I really like their commitment as a company to creativity and self-sustainability, and even though they keep jacking up prices, I can't help but submit to my capitalist instincts and consume. Collected a lot of sets over the years, both big and small, and even though I know it's not the biggest or most impressive collection, I'm actually pretty proud of what I've put together over the years. So, here's my LEGO collection. So the newest set in my collection is the LEGO Atari 2600, and honestly, of the sets I have in my collection, this might be the one I had the most fun putting together. I mean, really, just every level of it, you can see the amount of detail and love that they had when designing this set. I mean, the controller feels more or less true to size. At least from my personal experiences. It's also got all these little dioramas of some of the most iconic Atari games like Adventure. We also got Asteroids and Centipede back there, and the cartridges for their games come in this handy dandy little like bookshelf something or other. So we got some nice cartridges like on the front. It's all like Lego renditions of the art on the cartridge, and they fit into the system pretty dang well, honestly. The major gimmick of this system, aside from the wood grain finish that you can obviously see, is you pull up the top and you've got this cool little diorama of a kid playing Atari. He's playing some Asteroids, but it's a really cool little diorama. I think it's a really neat little addition that they decided to add. It's just a really cool little thing they've thrown in the console, and all these switches, more or less work too. You got the power, you got the TV type, you got the game select and reset switches. They all feel really great, kind of springy. These have a nice feel to them. So honestly, this is a really awesome set. And I loved putting it together. It was so much fun. So if we go categorically, the next up is the LEGO NES. And this is another one that as soon as I saw it, I knew I just had to have it. Really love a lot about the LEGO NES. Like the controller right here, at least from what I can tell, feels pretty true to scale. I believe it's supposed to be to scale. It's a really cool model. Inside we've got this, well, mine doesn't function super well, but it's supposed to be a functioning little cartridge spring system. It's got a copy of Mario Bros. Cartridge, so that's pretty nifty. Obviously, the big thing is the TV, which has this kind of scroll wheel along the side, which plays World 1-1 of Super Mario Bros. And it doesn't work the best, but it does sort of function. This was a pain to put together, believe me. Yeah, just because of all these little individual pieces on this scrolling screen, but this is a really cool little detail. And along the side of the NES, if you take this side cover off, then you've got World 1-2 down here in miniature, which is also another fun little detail they've added. So yeah, another really awesome set that I'm just very happy to have in my collection. Moving on to cars, I guess this is what I have the most of on display in my room, just because I've been collecting them for a while. But we have the Lego Ferrari F40. This is one of the older car Lego sets in my collection, but it's a cool one. It's fairly small when compared to some of the other cars, but it's still a very cool set with a lot of attention to detail. Some of the gimmicks we have, cars are full of gimmicks. Car Lego sets are. We've got the engine in the back. Obviously, you've got this little rod thing where you can prop the I guess the hood up, something like that. Pretty nifty. Also, you got the doors, which obviously open, and then in the front, you've got some trunk space, which is it's pretty standard Lego car stuff. It's a cool set. It's one of the more valuable ones in my collection. I'm pretty happy with how it's generally held up over the years. It's not the most robust set. It's generally pretty fragile, but I'm pretty happy with it. We got the pop-up headlights, so yeah, pretty cool. The Lego Mini Cooper from 2014. I believe this is the oldest of my Lego cars currently on display, but it's a cool car. I really like minis. I've always had a fondness for small cars that I can't fit into, and the Mini definitely fits in that category. Some cool features. We got a little engine in the front. The top is pretty easy to take off to show off all that funky rattan seating in the middle of the car. Obviously, the steering wheel is on the wrong side and is really just far too big for what this car is trying to offer. I mean, there's just no leg room in that thing. But the coolest thing is definitely the trunk, which contains a little picnic set. This is, I don't know why they stopped doing this with a lot of their cars, but you know, we've got a little like cheese set. We got a blanket. We got this nice little water bottle. So you know, you can make a nice little picnic scene with your Mini Cooper. This is honestly a really cool little series of additions, and I'm kind of disappointed that they don't do these as much anymore. But this is just a really cool set. I think it's very cute. I like this thing. It's so charming. 1967 Ford Mustang GT. Now this is a Lego set with some meat on its bones. From what I remember, there are a variety of combinations for, I guess, hood, wing, and wheel options. And I mean, there's some pretty hefty detail in this Lego set. We've got a very, very detailed engine bay with all sorts of wires and cool stuff just all over the place. Even got this hot sticker on the fan. We got a trunk with some nitrous in there. And the wheels, this is one of the few things, the few cars that does this, but like the wheels even turn when you turn the steering wheel. So that's pretty cool, and it's not something you see really on many Lego sets at all, which I think is really cool. Another thing you can do, I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a little gear in the back where you can adjust the rear height, or the height of the rear suspension, and yeah, that is certainly an aggressive car. That is North Carolina approved, I'll tell you that. But yeah, overall, really cool set. I love the Mustang. It's such an iconic car. Yeah, good stuff. It's a good car. It's a good little set to have on display. The James Bond Aston Martin DB5. Let me tell you, if you want gimmicks, this car has got them in spades. First of all, gear lever in the center has a big red button on it for the nitrous. Pull that back, and boom, you got machine guns popping out in the front. If that's not detail, I don't know what is. We have a variety of interchangeable license plates, all set to various things seen in the movies. I have it set to this one, which is what it's seen in Goldfinger, which is classic. The wheel centers have shurikens on them, so you can like add a little extender there, and boom, you've got some tire shredders. If you turn the right exhaust, you get the classic bullet shield popping up to protect them from the back. And finally, the coolest gimmick on the car, give a little tug right here, boom, ejector seat. How cool is that? I mean, obviously this thing has all the normal gimmicks too. You know, we got the trunk space, you know, you turn it around to the front, and we've got a fairly detailed engine bay with a nice big, what was that, straight six? Yeah, something like that. Pretty cool little engine bay, and obviously, you know, you can open the doors and see the cockpit, which is fairly detailed. Obviously, it's kind of hard to see with this lighting, but you know, we got the big speed boost or button on the middle, or nitrous boost, or I don't know if that was the ejector seat. I think that was the ejector seat. You can't see it, but there's even a radar in the middle that you know, switches to the radio or back again. Pretty cool little thing they have. All in all, just a really awesome set that nails the fan service. And of the Lego cars in my collection, this is the only one where I have not seen the real life counterpart. So that is something as a car enthusiast that I will be on the lookout for. Volkswagen Beetle. This is similar to the Mini in that it's a simple car with a lot of love packed into it. Obviously, we got the roof rack with, you know, the surfboard up top. We got the cooler, which is filled with, you know, ice and drinks and stuff. You know, cool little thing you've got going on there. Front opens up to reveal the spare tire, and obviously in the back, as all Beetles should, you've got your small little engine. Very cute. Not a super special set, but I like it. It's got a fair bit of detail on it with all the stickers, and you know, especially the big surfing theme. I like it. It's a nice kind of a nice departure compared to most of the other stuff I have in my Lego collection. It's cool. I like a little bit of variety. Finally, we've got the Lego Porsche 911. This came with the option of building it into either the Targa or the Turbo. I chose the Turbo because I love a good whale tail. This is the newest of my cars, and as such, it kind of just feels the most right. Like, this feels the most like the real car as compared to, you know, the Ferrari or the Mini. You get all the classic Porsche proportions and curves, and like the iconic like rear tail light bar. I love it. It feels so accurate to the real thing. It's gorgeous. We've got the turning wheels. We've got a beautiful caramel colored interior with obviously the opening doors and a nice little dash panel right there. Very nice. We got the frunk opening, which I would guess in the Targa that's where you store the hood, and then in the back we got nice big engine. Always good to see in the Porsches. Really just a beautiful Lego set. I love this thing. I honestly would consider getting a second one just so I can have both the Turbo and the Targa on display. This is an awesome set. Star Wars. This is something I was obviously really into at one point because, believe it or not, I was 12 once. I've got quite a few of these, and although I haven't bought any anytime recently, I can't say it's something I would never buy again. Something cool I might break out the big bucks for. Right here we've got something I don't see a whole lot of. We've got Pre-Vizsla's Mandalorian Starfighter from the Clone Wars. You know, we got some cool features. You know, the wings fold down and up depending on whether you're gonna, you know, dock or not. You know, we've got the flying mode like that. It's kind of sick, kind of cool. Inside the cockpit we've got Pre-Vizsla himself, another Mandalorian warrior, and the Darksaber, obviously. There aren't many appearances of the Darksaber in Star Wars, let alone Lego, so I think this set is pretty cool. Luke's Red 5 X-Wing. There's been so many different X-Wing Lego sets, even Luke Skywalker X-Wing Lego sets that I honestly can't even figure out which set this one was or what year it was made, but I think it's pretty cool. It's a solid set to have if you're into Star Wars. Obviously we got Luke Skywalker inside and R2-D2 up on the top. We got the proton torpedoes along the side, very important for blowing up your local Death Star. And the biggest gimmick obviously is on the back you pull this little lever and then you go into attack mode. You get the full X-Wing experience. So yeah, kind of a cute, kind of a cool little Lego set. I quite like it. The Clone Wars Y-Wing. This is from one of the earliest episodes of the Clone Wars when Ahsoka was still a little big. We've got Ahsoka up top. We've got Anakin in the cockpit. So, you know, you've got your essential minifigures for the piece. Overall pretty detailed. We've got this little firing pin up top. Got a big missile down the bottom. Pull the pin back. It's an older set. It's missing some pieces. It's definitely coming apart in some areas, but I don't know. I like it. The Clone Wars is an iconic series, and I'm quite fond of it. So I like having this on display. The Clone Wars Republic gunship, probably the single most valuable Lego set I own, and for good reason. This thing is super detailed, and it's got a lot of minifigures in here. We've got young Anakin. We've got younger Obi-Wan. We've got all sorts of guns and stuff included. And as you can see, there's just a ton of clones included in this thing. I'm not sure if these all came with the set or if I added some to fill it out, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clones included in this thing. You know, plus, you know, we got all the guns. We got the missile rack up top. I think we've even got, even a little something included over here, extra missiles. So yeah. This is crazy. We got gun turrets all over the place. We got stickers. We got unique pieces. I mean, this is a crazy detailed set. We even got the speeder in the back, which is just, I almost forgot about this thing. This is crazy. We even got Padme and a little carrying handle up top. It's just, there's so much detail in this set. It's so cool. It's such a cool set. It was cool to own as a kid, and it's still cool to own now. Easily one of my favorite Lego sets. This thing is so sick. Lego architecture. I've got just a couple of these in my collection, though I wouldn't mind more. This is 2009's Falling Water. This is, I believe, the oldest Lego set I currently have on display, and is in fact one of the original Lego architecture sets, and is also, I believe, one of my most valuable. I mean, in my opinion, there aren't many sets in the architecture series that match this in cool factor. I mean, this is back when the series really was about, proper architecture, like celebrating just really generally cool buildings instead of, now it's just generally dedicated to landmarks and popular cities. But this is a really cool set that, in my opinion, has not been topped by many in the architecture series, even today. I just want more like this. I'd really like to expand my architecture collection. This is a really cool series. San Francisco. This is mostly where Lego architecture is at nowadays. Is just doing these skylines and general popular landmarks, which is, it's all right, but it's not nearly as cool as Falling Water or the Roby House or something like that. Still, I think of the Skyline series, this is one of the cooler ones that they've done. They really like nailed San Francisco's landmarks. I mean, I don't remember all of what these buildings are called, but you've got everything from like the Painted Ladies down here to Alcatraz Island under the bridge, Battery Point or whatever that's called, Fort Point, something like that. Big Golden Gate Bridge is the defining, piece for the skyline, obviously, and it's cool how they've built it so that it looks like it kind of fades into the distance. I think that's a really neat thing that they've done. So yeah, not a huge fan of the direction that the series has gone in, but overall, it's pretty cool. Still pretty cool stuff. Moving on to the general miscellaneous stuff, we've got the Lego Sopwith Camel. This is from 2012 and is probably the most complex set I have yet built. It is very detailed. It's very cool, but it is very hard to put together and more importantly, keep together. I have had to rebuild this set multiple times. It keeps falling off from high places. I need to stop doing that, really. It's a cool set though. We've got the propeller up front. We got the machine guns up top. It's detailed with all the old British World War I regalia and stuff. We even got this little flap. I know it looks French, but it's not actually French. Calm down, all you French haters. I'm with you. The big gimmick on in this set right here is got this little control stick in the middle, and it sort of controls the flaps just a little bit, even in the rear. You got just a little bit of movement going on. It doesn't work super well, but it is a pretty old set, and I don't think I ever remember it working particularly well. It might need to be completely rebuilt in order for it to work like new again. Still one of the bigger and cooler sets I own. This is I wish they did more planes like this. This is just really cool. I want to see like an F-14 or an F-16, something like that in the near future. That'd be sick, like a Top Gun collab. I could totally see Lego doing that. All right, so it isn't technically Lego. It's some Chinese knockoff brand, but it was so cool and so detailed and so reasonably priced that I couldn't help but not get it. I like cars and I also watch anime, so obviously I have seen Initial D and it is a truly iconic show. Hasn't aged the best necessarily, but it's iconic nonetheless, and obviously I'm a big fan of the iconic Fujiwara Tofu shop from said show. We've got the 8.6, obviously, even though this technically wasn't included in the set, but it goes along with it well enough, and it's plenty to scale, so I threw it in there for just the heck of it. But obviously the detail comes from the rest of it. We've got this little washer thing over on the side. We've got, the ladder. We've got this just loose wood paneling over, and then it's a bit reluctant to do this, but you can, in fact, take the levels apart and see into the house somewhat. We've got the bedrooms and living spaces up top. We've got the tofu shop itself on the bottom floor. I mean, this is a surprisingly detailed set for the price I got it at, and for a knockoff company, these built surprisingly well. They've held up better than I would have expected them to, which is I don't know, it was pretty good at least. The Lego bonsai tree, you guys might remember this. I purchased it on the boys' trip to Atlanta. It's from the relatively recently added botanical collection. It's a pretty cool set. I gotta be honest. I'm a huge fan of this little wooden stand that or I mean it's plastic, but you know, wooden-esque stand that it comes on, and you got this little bed of rocks that it comes in. Obviously, or Legos that look like rocks. Obviously, I've got the typical green leaves on it right now, but it does have the alternative of coming with cherry blossoms in case it's that time of the year. This is just a really cool set. I like the look of this. It looks really nice. It's really detailed. And honestly, I feel like this is one of the few Lego sets that can look good in almost any environment, regardless of whether it's a room of a nerds like mine or it's just your typical living room. It looks cool. It's a very nice set. And finally, no Lego collection would be complete without shoes. The Lego Adidas Superstar, this came out a couple years ago, and me and Gray were immediately down horrendous. It's a really cool set. It's generally pretty well detailed. It's well proportioned. It's got all the colors right. It comes with an actual shoelace to tie the shoe together, which is honestly really cool. Actually, got this little plaque on the bottom, which gives us some general information about the shoe. I mean, it is a pretty iconic design. But I gotta be honest, my favorite detail about the shoe isn't the shoe itself. It's the fact that it comes in a shoebox. I mean, I don't know what else it would come in. Maybe just a regular box, but the fact that Lego decided to actually ship it in a shoebox is, I don't know. I just think that's super cool. Obviously, it can be built to the right or the left, depending on which kind of shoe you want. I believe it's based off of like a 9.5 or a 10.5 size Superstar, which a little small for my feet, but you know, if you know, it's cool. I doubt you'll be fitting your feet in it though. Just kind of a really cool, frankly, kind of bizarre set for them to release, but I like it. I hope they do more in the future. And that's pretty much what I got, or at least what is currently on display in my room. I've still got a fair bit more, if I'm being honest. Old Star Wars stuff, Speed Champions, even some older Bionicles, plus a conglomeration of pieces, other sets, and instruction booklets from the various sets that I've amassed over the years. And those sets range in age from fairly recent to as old as myself. I even got a few of the Lego video games. All right, well, you know, maybe more than a few, but you know, that's generally what I have, and I'm pretty proud of my collection, and yeah, I probably will be expanding it eventually. That's pretty much it. Bye.